Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are reviewing the WWE Elite Legends figure Junkyard Dog, who's a part of Series 12, exclusively available at Target stores here in the US. The figure is packaged in a window box with the Legends inspired artwork, just as we've seen consistently throughout the entire Legends run. The packaging looks great, and on the front there you see the WWE logo. Just below that there's the Legends. You see an image of Junkyard Dog holding his chain, and you see the True FX lifelike details sticker right there. On the top it specifies this is part of Series 12, and of course you have the Elite Collection logo there. The sides you have a couple more images of Junkyard Dog, which is the same. And on the back, you have another image, which is the same as the sides, but you also get a description, which you can check out right here. Let's just make that more readable. And below that, you have a look at the rest of the wave, including Rowdy Piper, Billy Gunn, and Kevin Nash, which are also available now. I would also like to thank Mattel and the WWE team for providing Junkyard Dog for review. Greatly appreciate that. Besides him, I have two more figures to review, so come back and check out the reviews from a couple of different lines, not just Legends. As a reminder, Junkyard Dog comes with a variant with blue trunks, which you see there. I was lucky enough to find the blue trunks one just in time for this review. I ordered them online, and thankfully they sent me the variant and not the regular version, which is the red trunks, which is the one that Mattel sent. So that is how I'm able to showcase the two different versions available now. Here's a look at Junkyard Dog inside his plastic tray. Just for reference, here is a comparison with the Blue Pants variant inside their plastic tray. As you can see, both figures are packaged the exact same way with the crown, the chain link, and the interchangeable hands. Here is your in-hand look at Junkyard Dog along with his accessories, including the chain link with the dog collar, the crown, and a set of interchangeable hands. I did my research and I had a lot of trouble finding what particular match, what year this figure is inspired from, since there's also a variant that comes with a crown in the blue trunks. That narrowing it down was very hard, so I went ahead and asked my friends at Mattel, and I was told Saturday night main event, but my contact wasn't sure of the year. So once I had that figured out, I was able to try to narrow it down depending on what he was wearing that night, the crown and everything. And I was only able to narrow it down to January 3rd, 1987, when Junkyard Dog faced against King Harley Race and Bobby Heenan at his corner. Junkyard Dog, at one point, he took the robe, which is not included, and the crown, and danced around the ring with it. And that night, he was wearing his white trunks with the stars. He was not wearing the red trunks or the blue trunks. So there's also that issue as far as what particular match he's inspired from. This is not the first time Mattel has done a figure inspired from multiple matches. Yes, the red trunks and the blue trunks were from the sometime in the 80s, multiple matches. But since he came with the crown, it made it a little bit harder for me to narrow it down. So I was only able to narrow it down again to January 3rd, 1987 for Saturday night's main event. And that is the best I can do. If you have, you can find reference material when he wore the crown with the different color trunks. Please leave a comment in the review and let us know. Here's a closer look at Junkyard Dog in the red trunks. The red trunks very nicely done. Really loving how these came out. And just like in the ring, it also has the text there, JY Dog. And you have the symbol on the side of the boots with the blue stars. Let's bring that in a little bit closer so you guys can see that. And it's the exact same thing on the other side, JYD. And you have the symbol there with the blue stars. On his back, it says Thump, just like it did in the ring all those years ago. And they did a really nice job on that printed label there. Very happy about that. Here's an in-hand comparison of both these figures. The only primary difference are the trunks, which are basically painted the same way. You have the writing there on the side, JY Dog. But if you look carefully, you'll notice that the boots are different. Opposite colors on the symbol there, and different color stars. So for the red pants, you have blue stars. For the blue pants, you have red stars, which is pretty neat. On the back here, both says Thump, and it's the same way on the other side, which you see right there. Here's a closer look at the head sculpts. The facial head scan are a little bit different between these two. For the most part, you really need to look at each one, as sometimes the facial details are a little different from figure to figure. However, they're really not meant to be that way. It's just how they come out. But they both have the same great likeness, and I really like the attention to detail, the likeness, and basically every aspect about how he came out. The hair has a little bit of a sculpted texture on top, as does the beard and the mustache, which you see here on both sides. The head on the red tights one does tend to look down a little bit, which is just basically how that joint is put on him, but the blue pants one doesn't have that problem. Junkyard Dog includes a set of interchangeable hands. These are the open grip hands, which also can be used to hold the chain link with the dog collar. Junkyard Dog also comes with a chain link and dog collar attached, which can be placed around his neck. There's no need to take off the head, which I don't recommend you guys doing that because you could potentially break the figure. How this works is that this part here just plugs in as shown, and it's a very simple procedure to put on the dog collar. The chain link, very nicely done. They really did a nice job on this. Real chain link, really works well for him. Here's a comparison of Junkyard Dog with the dog collar and chain link attached on both versions. Once again, the red pants is the regular version and the blue pants is the chase variant. Here's a look at the back. Here's a look with the crown on his head, which again, I believe is from Saturday Night Main Event, July 3rd, 1987, when he danced around the ring with it. I couldn't find other reference other than that, and on that particular match, he was wearing his white trunks with the stars. That's one of his most memorable appearances. I could not find reference material for the red trunks or the blue trunks with the crown on top, but if you can, feel free to leave a comment below in the video. We're on toyhopusa.com, and let us know what you found. The crown itself, very nicely done. The paint-ups on this are just amazingly detailed. They really offered something special here, especially with the metallic gold, the red, even the white trim with the little black lines around it, and the purple, which makes most of it. The patterns are all the same on all four sides, so it doesn't really particularly matter which side you put on the head, as again, that's all the same. And it comes on and off fairly easily, which you see there. It's also on pretty good when you decide to put it on and take it off. So you really don't have to worry about this falling off. Here's a comparison between the red trunks and the blue trunks. with the crown on top. The crown is the same for both figures. There's no differences on there. There's actually really no difference on the figure with the exception of the color of the trunks. And here's a look at the back for comparison, which you can see again, there's no differences on there. The articulation for Junkyard Dog is consistent throughout the line, so if you're familiar with the Elite line, you basically know what to expect here. Throughout his run, the Junkyard Dog was one of the more formidable opponents, and he was definitely one of the more tougher guys in the ring. I think this figure depicts a great likeness to him with great attention to detail, and he looks great with other figures in the line. Junkyard Dog is definitely an essential part of 80s wrestling, and if you have any of the golden age of wrestling figures from the 80s, possibly early 90s, this figure would definitely fit in great with those. There's also many different ways to pose him with the chain. This idea has the chain wrapped around Rick Rude, which you see here, which is just an idea I came up with, as like he's strangling Rick Rude. The chain, very nicely done. It stays in his hands very well, and overall, he has a great likeness. Overall, Junkyard Dog is a phenomenal figure and definitely worthy to add to your collection. I would highly recommend him for any fan that collects golden age of wrestling figures from the 80s, 90s. That would definitely fit in best there. He is available now at Target stores here in the US, and if you have an opportunity, make sure to pick up both versions of him. Thank you again for Mattel for providing the Red Trunks version for review. Greatly appreciate that. I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more coverage.